What up, folks? I'm Ultrazilla, and Godzilla community. We gotta talk. We really gotta talk. And maybe not the whole Godzilla community, because you know what? A lot of the vinyl figure lovers, whether you're lower end vinyl figure lovers like movie monster series, or like higher end ones, I think you've been okay. But when we get to the more articulated community, man, do we get problems. And it's crazy because we have had a lot of cool figures over the years. We've had the NECAs, we've had SH Monster Arts, we now have Haya also, and we have Super 7 also. So that's great. We have so many choices, and I am so happy about that as a Godzilla fan, to have so many choices. We don't have the NECA anymore, but for those of you that have had the NECAs, you have a nice little collection there, I still have my collection, though I'm not sure how much longer I'm gonna have the whole collection. I might be getting rid of some pieces very soon. More on that in another video, but maybe in another 2 videos, actually. Stay tuned for some NECA action coming up on the channel. But, I wanted to highlight these guys because, these were the articulated figures that we've had in the last 10 years, right? And for the longest time, we had NECA and SH Monster Arts, and man, did you guys have crazy fights over which was better, NECA or SH Monster Arts. Like, the amount of times I fought people over this here on the channel, on Facebook, in groups, is just astounding. Like, it was a ridiculous battle every time. And a lot of it, I'm gonna say this, and some folks might be offended by this, was because of the price of the figures, which is a thing that prevails to this day. NECA was very cheap, very affordable, everybody could afford it. SH Monster Arts was not. Not everybody could afford it, and I get that. I get it. So the NECA fans were always very, very, very up in arms about their figures when comparing them to SH Monster Arts. And I'm guilty of making many comparison videos about it. Making many comparison videos about a lot of things. I mean, I've done my share of movie monster series versus Playmates toys. That was a big thing for a while. And I'm not going to talk about those here, but, it's basically the same thing, right? Though less so because both of them were cheap enough that everyone could have access to them. But that was a huge battle that waged a lot. For the most part, I sided with a lot of SH Monster Arts, but a lot of NECAs were awesome. And like this one, I really like this one. Though I think overall I might have chosen the SH Monster Arts, but as time has gone on, I just love this Goofy 62 figure. It's so awesome, like, there's so much fun to be had, and that could be said with a lot of NECA figures, and in certain cases, I had picked a NECA figure as well, so, it's variable. It is a variable thing. At the end of the day, I wish I never did those videos, because I just fanned the flames of this whole debate. And now, NECA, unfortunately, as they were getting better and better, is no longer, in the game. And they haven't been in the game for a while now. But then came along Haya Toys, then came along Super 7, and the game has changed a little bit. And times have changed a little bit. For whatever reason, people are, like, more vicious now than they ever been. A lot more folks are way more emboldened than they ever were. And this is, like, not a toy problem either. This is a world problem. This is a social problem. You know, folks just don't care about feelings of other folks, and that is sad. You know, they don't respect how people go about enjoying their own world. You know, they can't take it. So it is a pretty crazy thing. That's a broad stroke, obviously, but you know, what we are seeing today in the Godzilla community when it comes to the articulated figures is a microcosm of all of that. It really is. Folks do not want you to enjoy what you like. It is crazy, you know, the amount of heat I got for liking this figure because I enjoy a toyetic figure. Now, I could have put the, you know, the Thirsty for Blood edition here. That got a lot better reception. But I wanted to highlight that because I really like that figure. And what I have here is 4 figures from these 4 lines that I really like. This was my favorite figure of last year, Hiya Toys. People, I think, tend to forget it, even though I keep reminding folks of that. That I made this Hiya Toys figure my favorite figure of last year. And I like it better than their recent releases. I can't do anything about that. I really do like that figure a lot. And the recent releases have fallen short for me for one reason or another. This Godzilla, highly controversial. And I think that's not only because of the price, but now because of the exclusivity, because it is a New York, Tamashi Store New York exclusive. This figure is getting a lot of hate. And it's, you know, it's a figure that's on a mold that's been done a lot already. You know, there's little tweaks here and there, but the main difference here is the color. And I really like this figure, and I don't care if anybody else doesn't like this figure. You know, I really like it. I gave you my review on why I like it. Here's the thing, on all of my reviews, I don't shy away from showing the figure up close and keeping it in frame the entire time, so you could see what I can see. And if you disagree with me at the end of the day, that's fine, but you can't say that I didn't tell you why I liked or disliked a figure. Now, in every case, I just said I didn't like the recent releases of the Hiya Toy stuff. You know how many releases of SH Monster Arts I didn't like? A ton! If you were a part of this channel for anywhere more than a minute, then anywhere more than just coming here and, you know, berating me for liking figures that you don't like, you would know that I am not really biased towards anything. I like what I like. I dislike what I dislike. I've had instances here where I've literally started reviews with me tossing the figure in pieces into the view frame here, into the frame. Like, how that's happened to me more than once. Monster X, completely atrocious figure. Godzilla 2004, same thing, right? Same line. Like, just, was it 2004? I think so. Just totally fell apart. Like, it was ridiculous. And that, you know, could be happening with people in other places. I haven't watched full reviews yet, but I have seen some thumbnails. Don't you worry. So I know some folks that, you know, are very well respected in the community, and by me. You know, I think what's going on with can be summed up in one word: tribalism. And whether it's a Hiya Toys thing or a, you know, trying to pit reviewers against each other, just know that a lot of us are actually friends. You know, one opinion doesn't affect another opinion. I've had differing opinions on toys with my, you know, comrades in arms since the very beginning of this channel. Whether it's on NECA, whether it's on SH Monster Arts, these guys, other toys, you know, we have different opinions. Me and different reviewers have different opinions. Me and you guys, as subs, as collectors, We all have different opinions, and there's nothing wrong with that. When it is wrong is when you come to a channel like mine, like, you know, somebody else's channel, and you disrespect the person, like, for no reason, because we liked a figure or disliked a figure, and that was the opposite of opinion of yours. And that's been happening so much more lately that it's sickening, and I don't want to see the Godzilla community go down that path again, because we were there when these two guys were fighting. Maybe you don't remember the wars there, but we were there. I don't want that to keep happening, you know? Like, I want to talk about the figures I like, the figures I dislike, and cool. Whether you respect that or not, you know, whether you agree with that or not is one thing. But I put in the work to make that review, you know. I would hope I get a little bit of respect for that. You know, watch my review. You have a differing opinion when you come here. You want to come here just to have a different opinion. Do me a favor, watch the review. See my points first before, you know, having a tirade, calling me names. It's crazy between, you know, the Super 7 thing, this, other videos where I've been called, you know, a numerous amount of names. Like, I haven't been doing this now for as long as I have. I don't have the amount of work that I have. I put the number of reviews in every thumbnail. I'm very proud of the amount of work I've put into this channel. I am very proud of how I've come to formulate my opinions on these things, and where I've grown from the very beginning to now. I just feel like there's a better way for all of us. There's no need to hate on each other. You don't like a figure? Absolutely cool. But be respectful about it. You know, like, there's ways to have conversations without belittling the reviewer or your fellow fans. Because I see it in the comment section all the time, fights breaking out. You know, like, even if it's not with me. You know, it's just, why? Why are we going down this path? Like, why must you hate one figure line or another figure line or another figure line? Although this figure line is not getting that much hate right now. And, you know, that's understandable. They're nice big figures. They're in a price point that's cheaper than SH Monster Arts. It's not as cheap as the NECAs, but I said it in the 2019 review that Haya is the new NECA in the terms of the community support for it. It lies in that same space as, well, it's not as expensive as the SH Monster Arts, and maybe there's less problems. It's built the same way, sturdier figures. But so is the Super 7. The Super 7 is very sturdy too. Folks just don't like the style they're going for here. And I get it. You know, it's not for everyone. But for the folks that it is for, there's no reason to get on their case. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's choices here. You don't have to buy SH Monster Arts. Nobody's forcing you to. Like, no one, absolutely no one is forcing you to buy any of these figures. You don't like Super 7? Don't buy it. I'm not even here to convince you. I am not here. I'm a review channel that exists solely to appease myself and get my opinion out there. If that helps you, that's awesome. I am so happy to help anybody with their buying choices, you know? Because if I feel like it's something is good, then, you know, I feel good about other folks getting it. However, and I say this all the time, your mileage is going to vary, and the product is going to vary. In a production line, there's a million outcomes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen a lot worse on this figure. I've seen worse on this figure. My two figures are not bad, though. And why would I talk about other figures? I only talk about the figures I have in hand. And that is a big deal. That is a big deal to me as a reviewer. And a big deal to me when I talk to folks. And folks don't want to hear this, but I always say it. because I really feel it. Reviewing a product in hand versus having an opinion of a product you just see pictures of or video of is different. It is a totally different feel. So whether you agree with me or not about a figure, even if you watch my review and you still disagree, realize that you still didn't have my figure, my particular figure. I'm not even talking about the figure, because if you bought this figure and you hated it, that is your prerogative, and I totally respect that. You had problems with it, you just didn't like it, you felt like you spent too much money, whatever it is, I get it. But don't tell me my opinion is wrong, because it's my opinion. I spent the money, or sometimes I didn't. In the case of like Super 7, they sent it to me. That doesn't really affect me too much. Go watch my integrity video of Vlogzilla. That is my prerogative to like or dislike a figure based on the figure that I have, the figure I have in hand, not the figure that is in somebody else's hand, not a figure that I saw in a video or pics of, or just didn't like, and just wanted to say it. No, I talk about the figures in hand. And, whether you disagree with me or not, that's one thing or another. But do be respectful, because, you don't have the figure I have in my hands. And it's my opinion. Like, why should my opinion affect you that much? Like, I can't like a figure? Like, another collector can't like a figure? Like, that you dislike? What is this community coming to? It's a very odd thing that I'm seeing. And I'm seeing it across the board. I'm getting called out in places all over the place. You think I don't see things? It's very strange. For the history I have here of liking and disliking figures and the problems I've had, people are very judgmental based on a single review. And I think they know me. There is like well over 2,000 videos here that prove that you do not know me. That you do not know anything about me and how I approach figure reviewing. Whether a company sends me a figure or I buy it, I'm very, very honest about how I feel. And a lot of times I really like a figure, but a lot of times I really don't. There's been Super 7 figures that I've criticized that they've sent me. Folks are like, oh, you don't like this figure. You like this figure? Yeah, I did. But go watch some of the MMPR reviews I did. I had problems with the Goldar figure with the way they designed it. Even if a company sends me something, go look at the recent Hayatoys review, of the Heat Ray Godzilla that Kowski's Toys sent me. I did not like that figure. Apologies to Kowski's Toys, because, that one was directly, that kind of directly affects them, because, it's a store, and they sent me the figure in hopes that they would get, sales out of it. I guess folks won't buy a figure from a bad review. That's not my problem. And it's not Kowski's either, and I apologize to them. That's on Haya. On Haya and how that figure worked out. I didn't like it. I gave my honest opinion, and I will always give my honest opinion about that. And I think folks are allowed to have their honest opinions about that without getting ridiculed. So I don't know what's going on in the community, but honestly, guys, love what you love, but don't hate on stuff just to hate. If you bought something and you hate it, I'm on board. I understand, and this is something I said recently to someone here in a comment, that we're all in the same boat at first. Like, product images come out, we all could talk, we could all try to make our decisions based on that. But once folks start getting the figures in, and, reviewers like myself do reviews, and you come here and you disagree without even watching, then that's just not cool. I work hard to give you my opinion on something, and, just give it a chance. Give the video a chance. Forget the figure. Give the video a chance, and see what I'm talking about. See if you can understand why I like or dislike a figure. Like, I showed this figure from head to toe, all close-up shots, and I had, like, no issue with it. I actually really, really like it. I'm gonna go a step further, guys. This is gonna be on my tops of the year. I know it's not gonna sniff other folks' tops of the year, but guess what? Things that other folks like probably won't sniff my tops of the year. We're all different. We all have different opinions. That's a good thing. That's a really good thing, guys. It's all about having different opinions. That variety is the spice of life. And look, we get a lot of different figures, and that is so cool. We get a lot of different Godzilla figures, and that is so cool. To have the choices that we have right now. I know we don't have a NECA anymore, and I feel bad. I honestly do, because they were hitting their stride. But not only here, like, we have other choices as well, right? Movie Monster Series. Playmates is scaling down what they're doing. They're only going to do Monsterverse stuff. I'm looking forward to what they do. Mondo's a little more expensive, but I like what they do as well. You know, like, there's choices, then there's more higher. This X Plus still, of course. No one ever says bad things about them, because who's comparing things? You know, figure to figure. And that's another thing. You know, I don't care what anybody else does. I really don't, you know. But for me, I won't be doing any more comparison videos. I'm not going to fan this flame of hate anymore. And that's all those videos are. You know, there's no reason to compare the products to each other so much. I really don't feel it. I feel like that's just hurting the product. I liked comparison videos for a little while, and I thought they were cool, but at the same, you know, I know why they were cool, because they got views, you know, and sometimes this stuff gets, you know, views too. Like, negativity gets views, and I don't need that. I don't need to do that, you know. From day one, I haven't been about the views. I say it in my Ultra Z news all the time. You know, that's not something I'm here for, you know. Like, would I love the views? Absolutely. But, you know, I like doing things my own way. I like representing me as a person, you know, properly on the channel. And if it's not me, it's not something I want to do. And right now, you know, I definitely do not want to fan the flames of hate. You know, I'm not pitting any things against each other. You know, it's not worth it. Go to my reviews, and I'll individually, you know, tell you what I feel about them. You go make your own choices. But I'm not going to tell you, yeah, go buy that figure or go buy that figure anymore. Don't buy this figure, because who am I to say it? Who am I to say it? I only want to review the figures that I get, represent them as well as I possibly can. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I miss a thing here or there. It's happened before in other videos. You know, not necessarily Godzilla. Godzillas are a little easier than, say, like some of the robots you might see in the background here. But, you know, I can only represent what I can represent, and I want to stop, at least do my part to try to curb the hate that's going on out there. And just, like, say, hey, guys, like what you like, go buy what you like, but don't hate on other folks for liking other things that you don't like. It's just not fair to your fellow collectors. It's not fair to some of the reviewers out there. And it's not fair to these companies. I know people don't want to hear that, but it's true. Behind these companies are just regular people like me and you that are working hard to try to put out these products. You know, and I've been there. Being in the comic industry, I've been part of teams that have created books that we were super proud of, and then when they get out there, for whatever reason, you know, are met with, like, hostility or bad reviews, and, you know, that affects sales, and ultimately that could affect our livelihood and our lives, guys. So I get it. I get where these companies are at, you know, and I understand when some of this hate comes their way, how it affects sales and, you know, that trickle down effect. It's not a good thing to see. And guess what? They look. They read this stuff, you know, so You know, it's one thing to have constructive criticism, and that is very cool. It's another thing to just like come aboard and hate, you know, especially against someone that just presented a positive opinion about something, and that positive opinion was shown in crystal clear color, like I do here. Like it's mind-boggling how people could just want to watch the world burn is what is happening. You know, if it's not their opinion, then it's not good, and they refuse to let other folks enjoy what they're enjoying. You know, but even to, you know, you folks that are hating, I just want to tell you, go enjoy the stuff you like. Enjoy your Hayatoys, or enjoy your Monster Arts. But there's no reason to hate on other folks that are enjoying their stuff. There's room and there's enough stuff here for everyone to love. But remember, what's best for you might not be best for the next person, so something to keep in mind, you know, when you come to a channel like mine, you know, like, your opinion might be your best opinion, but it's not my opinion. And, you know, you came here to hear my opinion, so why not hear my opinion before engaging in an argument, before spewing your hate here or anywhere else, you know? We're living in a great time for toys, guys. There's so much for everyone to enjoy, you know? So why not enjoy it? Why not enjoy it and just leave the stuff you hate to the side? You know, it's not good for you anyway. You know, it's not good for you health-wise to have that much hate inside you. It's not good to constantly engage in these arguments. Why should we have failing health over toys? It makes no sense. This stuff is here to make us happy, you know? So let's try to make it, you know, a happier place, you know? There's no reason why we can't. If a figure is bad, I'll let you know the figure is bad. If the figure is good, I'll let you know it's good. You know, like, that's my opinion based on the toys I have here in hand. Isn't that why you came? If you didn't come here for that, I'm not exactly sure why you did come, because, you know, I like to engage with everyone, but, like, if you're not gonna give me the respect of hearing me out before, you know, spewing what you want to spew, then I'm not going to respect your opinion, and ultimately, it's going to lead us to have, you know, an argument here that we didn't need to have. Because more often than not, those conversations have led to somebody being banned, some sort of disrespect thrown out, and you know what? I'm not gonna tolerate that. I won't. You know what? You know, I've been around the block too long to have that happen here, so I'm not gonna do it. You know, there's better ways to go about having a conversation with someone. You know, there really, really is. And again, I won't be trying to feed that with any comparison videos from now on. I don't think it's worth it, because unfortunately, that's what it leads to. It leads to, like I said, some tribalism going on. We're all in this together. We're all toy collectors. We just want to have cool toys. If you don't like a certain toy, you know, that's totally fine. But don't make fun of other people for liking the same toy. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. You know, let's not feed that lowest common denominator that just wants to hate. I don't know why anyone would do so. I can't understand it. And it's very strange to me to see other content creators, you know, catering to that now. And I don't know why you would do it other than views. And it's just feeding this monster that's just getting bigger. For my part, I won't be doing that. I just can't do it. I don't want this community to go down that route. We've been there before with NECA versus SH Monster Arts, and, you know, I don't want to keep doing it. And please, do not take anyone's word as gospel on these things. Mine included. Like, you know, for all I am saying here, what did I say in this video? There's a million outcomes in a production run. Just because my figure is good doesn't mean the next reviewer's figure is good. We all have different outcomes here. So keep that in mind as well. That's really, really important. You know, like, no one is really right or wrong here. And no one is the be and end all of the discussion. No one. No one's review is all powerful and the almighty last word on this. Every opinion matters. So, you know, to you guys that are looking for opinions, yeah, get different opinions on it. But respect those opinions too. Respect that there's different outcomes that could happen here. And there has been, obviously, you know, in terms of any of the figures you see here. In terms of figures, other figures I've reviewed. You know, there's no right or wrong answer here, but there is an opinion of what I think is good and what I think is bad, based on the ones I have in hand. So let's make this community better, guys. We can do it. We don't need to argue about all this stuff, not when there's so many cool choices. You know, you don't like something, fine, don't get it. But, you know, just because somebody else gets something and enjoys it doesn't mean they're wrong because you think something is better. All right, so let's kind of tamper that a bit. There's no reason to get on anybody's case about this, whether it's a reviewer, whether it's your fellow collector, whether it's these companies. You know, like, yeah, we want better products out of them, but if you're not gonna get the product anyway, like, why are you in that conversation? Ask yourself that. Why are you in that conversation if you're not gonna get the product? That's something I haven't mentioned. Why are you even doing it? So, you know, I mean, cool it a bit. Let's enjoy the products. Let's have good conversations about them. You know, respectful conversations about them. You know, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. But, you know, once you cross that line, there's nothing I can do about it. It really isn't. All right? And that's my video, guys. It was a long one, and I appreciate everyone that watched and enjoyed it and respected my opinion about this. So, till next time, peace out, peeps.